Welcome to another episode of the Headlight Restoration Pro, where I'll be showing you how to take headlights like these and turn them into something like this. Crystal clear perfection. Better than the day it rolled off the lot by far. You'll also be hearing about sanding pressures, which a lot of you need to know about. Number 9 and the perfect storm.
Excalibur, I call on your power.
Let's get down to business. Okay, this is a 2008 Mercedes S550, one hell of a vehicle, a big body Mercedes, black on black, just gorgeous, a lot of horsepower. This is the Mercedes of Mercedes, pretty much. This is the one that everybody wants. More than likely, it's got all the power and all the luxury at the same time. If you know this vehicle, if you know enough about headlight restoration, or you know this vehicle and you've done headlight restoration on this vehicle, you know that it is extremely difficult most of the times. It's very hard light, okay? It's not only it's very hard light, but the biggest problem is it naturally from the factory has a very dense, very hard coating. Okay, but before we get into that, let me show you this. Okay, this video is about what now? The perfect storm, number 9. We'll get into that, but even more so, what people really need to know is about pressures. Okay, pressures initially lead to you having all these things. Are people having all these issues at their finished product? I don't know where these scratches came from. The scratches all in my shit, man. Headlight Restoration Pro, what the hell, man? How come I can't get my shit like yours, right? The number one reason, okay, and I guarantee it, the number one reason has to do with your pressures. You guys, you haven't been listening to what I say, because I say it on about probably half of my videos, right? Now I'm showing you once again more in depth. Now this is a P500 pad. This is not the vehicle we're working on here. This is a different vehicle from the same day that I wanted to show you. I did after this vehicle and wanted to show you or incorporate this into this vehicle. But as you see, that is a P500. Okay, the drill, of course, and in between each is the interface pad. As I showed you, and I'm showing you, if you're using this method or not, you see how little pressure. See, that's a lot of pressure right there, right? Now see, look at this, and you see how it is when it's relaxed. There's no pressure, right? So if I'm sanding with that amount of pressure, then how much pressure am I actually using if it's still fully erect? If it's still pretty much fully erect, I'm using barely any pressure. That's correct. The biggest problem people want to think, it's kind of a mind fuck. They want to assume that to get this shit off, I'm gonna have to use so much pressure. Okay, this device is delivering 600 pounds of torque. Okay. You cannot move 600 pounds, okay? You cannot equal 600 pounds. A very, very small, less than 1% of the human population, a man, woman, whatever, can make 600 pounds move in any kind of way. Okay, and what else they cannot do, guaranteed none of them can do, is make something do 1700 RPM. Okay, so you don't need pressure, you don't need all this muscle, all this strength. Like I always say, if you had a 2-year-old body, right, and you can follow instructions, you could use this and still have all of your strength left over. You can use less than 1% of that 2-year-old strength to do a headlight restoration. So this is the problem. Initially with that problem, most people doing headlight restoration in the world, about 99%, over 99% of the people are going to be males that are doing this. Now look at that pressure. Look how it just seats around there. I'm barely using any pressure. I'm trying to show you different angles so you guys can get it. Barely any pressure, doesn't take anything. But the problem is that men do this, right? And men are heavy-handed, and you're heavy-handed even if you don't know it. Okay, men are rougher. Men You have, better hand strength, better shoulder strength, better core strength, which all plays into headlight restoration. You really got to relax. You can't be tense. You can tense your arms up, whatever, to hold the drill, steady. That's your focus, not pressure. But back to this light. We're back to this light. And that was pretty helpful, in me trying to explain to you guys about the pressures. If you have to watch that little segment over and over, watch it again and just really be like, be amazed that there's no pressure I'm using. You can even see it right here. It's the same thing. Now, this light is harder, so inherently it's going to take a little bit more pressure to do what you need to do, and you should be able to feel through that. But initially, or the same, it's really not that much pressure. It's just a little, little increase, not like a drastic much. I will never bottom out my pad. The pad will never be squished all the way down when I'm doing this. The pad will never be squished halfway down, or even at most maybe a quarter. At most maybe a quarter all the way down. So, it's just pressures. If you guys cannot master those pressures, it's the most common reason why you're not having that perfect finished product using this method or any method. Even if you're using, it's one of the hugest problems that people have when they're doing wet sanding or hand sanding of any kind, because they don't typically use a block or a interface pad or whatever. They're using just a naked piece of sandpaper on their hand. Sometimes they use a block or something like that. But either or, when you're doing hand sanding, it's here goes another word. Inherently just means that it just comes with the territory, whatever. That's part of it. It's ingrained in the process. When you're using those hand blocks and those hand sandings, a lot of people tend to hold it too much. They're holding it with their full grip, and that makes you use more body mechanics than you need to use. You're using your elbows, you're using your arms, your forearms, your hand strength, your core, your chest muscles and shit, which all the above are, if you just could use your fingers and nothing else, you'd be strong enough to do headlight restoration by hand. Okay, but the thing is, people can't gauge how much strength to put in. They don't know how, and your mind will tell you, and once you touch it and stuff, and once you get to doing it, will tell you, I need to put the strength in, I need to dig deep, I need to do this, but you really don't. You're just making a headache for yourself. You're making a lot more shit to clean up after these steps, and you're fucking up your finished product. But sometimes you can't see them because they're so deep, and they'll come out in the finished product, or they're harder to see. You have to train your eye to see which ones are going to be the ones that come out in that finished product. You don't want those. You want to do numerous checks. Always check. I check so much, it's insane. On this light right here, every time I change a pad, pretty much I'm checking. Every time I move a segment or a quadrant of this light or any light, I am checking the previous one. Like just now when I changed that pad, I checked everything I just did, visually, to see if I see anything that stands out. Any kind of spots that are missed, namely, any kind of spots that have too much swirling or scratching or anything like that. Anything that's deep or real prominent that catches your eye, you want to go over again. If it's just something really like you barely even can see it, that is okay, because that will come out through the processes of the next steps. Okay, the next steps will definitely get those out. Okay, and then when you hit the polish step, it's the same thing. When you look at it and you see just a very little faint whatever, don't worry about that. But when you see something that's like really prominent, you can catch the line, you can see the contours of it, you can see a little depth, you can see a little whiteness to it or whatever, those are the ones you need to worry about and make sure that you are taking care of before you finalize your work. Before you put that coating on, whichever coating you decide to use, it will come through and it will show through. And this is why I also show my work up so close, so you guys can basically see what I'm seeing. Sometimes these cameras, like in this case right now, the camera is between me and the headlight work, right? So you guys are seeing at a bird's eye view. You guys are seeing better than my view right now. My head right now, the camera's between my legs, right? You know, so I can, if you can imagine, my camera's, the light's here, my camera's in between my legs, and then my head is up more, about 2 feet, and I am behind the camera about a foot. So you're seeing better than what I'm seeing right now. Okay, you're closer, you have a closer view. But at the end, initially, that's why I do such a close up, because a lot of headlight, you can always tell if anybody has a commercial or anybody has pictures, or if any business is showing you a video of their work, whatever. It's kind of trickery, and they do it because they're not comfortable and they're not 100% assured of their work. They don't believe in their skills, and it's probably for good reason, because it doesn't look as good up front. But what they'll do is they'll show you, the work, and they'll show you what it looks like from afar, from like 3-4 feet away, and this and that, because there's blemishes, there's other shit, or the clarity's just not there. But the further back you get when you were filming, the less of the bullshit that you can see, or the person will see visually in their, on their eyes, from their eyes, optically, they're going to see less. Now think about it. How many videos have you seen of somebody doing this headlight restoration and showing you the finished product when they're like 5 feet back, 4 feet back? Is because this shit is bullshit, all right? Or here's another one that they do. They'll show you, anyways, look, it's raining. Believe it or not, it is, first week of September, and it's raining out here. I have my full rain gear out. I have one of my tents out, and I have my umbrella out, just to make sure I'm not getting too much moisture in there. That's that water you see right there that came through. It comes through. It's basically to keep you dry, but it's basically to keep you dry, and the final process, the clear coat, should you say. You just need a 60-second window in the end when you're using this product, just so the crust can dry. After that, if water gets on it, it's fine. And oh yeah, FYI, you forgot, I do headlight restoration in any weather. In the rain, in the wind, in the sun, whatever the fuck it is. I'll fuck it. What you gonna do when they say, hey, I got this car here, and $150 a headlight, or whatever the hell you're gonna charge, or whatever, and got these other cars here. You're gonna, oh, it's raining, get the fuck out of here. You better call the headlight restoration pro, then I'm gonna get the money. But anyhow, back to what I was saying about the depth perception of videography and headlight restoration. Let's just call it. These guys, I see it all the time. I'm all over the internet, and I examine and I study their work, and I'm like, okay, that's good work, and I kind of rate it, give it a good system, and I'll say, this is what he's doing wrong, this is what he's doing right, this is whatever. And I always, I have been seeing people evolve, and I'm pretty much, I not to be narcissistic or whatever you call it, but I think they have improved because they're watching my channel. I see certain things they do now, and certain ways their headlights look, and certain products they're using, and certain things, say like my blower or whatever. I see that popping up everywhere now, and guess where I saw that being used for headlight restoration before I started my channel? I'll give you a clue. Yeah, it's nowhere. That's the clue. Nowhere. I was the first person to ever use that. So I'm very flattered, and I like that. That's what this channel is for. It's not just for people who don't know headlight restoration. It's for people who know headlight restoration, who want to be better. It's for people who, who are professionals, people who own businesses, people who are going to be incorporating this into their business. And this blower right here is what I was talking about. It's for everybody. It's for people who just want to be entertained. It's for people who like to watch DIY. It's for detailers. It's for restoration specialists. Just the other day, I did a a headlight job for a guy who owned a restoration business. All right, he never really did headlights, right? And he was restoring a Firebird, a 1987 Firebird. Oh no, not Firebird, Thunderbird, 1987 Thunderbird, super charged Thunderbird or whatever it's called, right? Really nice car, really cool car, a really rare car actually, to this day. And he did all these restoration stuffs for the interior and for the trunk and for the paint, all this stuff in the engine, but he doesn't do headlights. So he called me to his shop to do the headlights for this customer and the tail lights. And then just guess what? I forgot my, I wanted to get some tail light incorporated into my videos. I'll show you guys how I do that, but I forgot my camera stand, so I couldn't do it. I was trying to figure out how to do it and couldn't do it. But anyways, it's for everybody, for any level that does this, from the everyday Joe to the professional. So anybody can learn from this. Okay. But yeah, people tend to film their stuff from far back because they're not assured of their work. They know there's not perfection up close. That's one of the reasons I show my stuff so close, and then I really show that final product super close, so you can see that I'm not on here bullshitting. I'm not on here playing games. I'm not on here trying to trick you. I'm not on here feeding you bullshit. I am giving you the 100% raw and uncut headlight restoration and how you do it and what the highest level of it is, what it looks like, and what it can do for you. Whether you're just trying to get your headlights right, you're trying to make a business, you're trying to incorporate it into a business, you're just trying to know what to expect from a business, what the highest level is. This channel is chopped full of things about health, things that nobody speaks of because they're just like, I just sand the light and spray shit on it, whatever's clear. Like, no, that shit will fuck your headlights up. Okay, you want your headlights, if you got a vehicle, something nice like this, especially when these headlights here are, probably to replace them, take them to the shop, take it to BMW or whatever, take it to Mercedes, okay, wrong car, take it to Mercedes and say, I want my headlights changed out on this vehicle. It's probably going to be fucking $2,300 or something, if not more. So I'm like, man, you want something like this to last because you don't want to build like that no matter who you are. But anyways, the headlight pressures is definitely, what is going on with people who are having issues. You got to have that finesse, that light touch. It is not football. It's more it's more ballet. Okay, it's very sensitive. It's very smooth touch. It's not aggression. It's not muscle or whatever. It's very light. Okay, the only exception, and not even with this, it's not that much hard, but with this 3000 Trizac pad, you can have a little bit more firmer, a little bit more pressurized approach with this. This is not a scratching pad. This is a scratch eliminating pad. So with all means, go a little bit harder when you are using your pressure with the 3000 Trizac. Okay, that's the proper pressure to apply on that, is a little bit more than the other ones, okay? Because you will not scratch anything with this, all right? Now, back to what I was saying in the beginning. If you know this light, if you've done this light, if you worked on these vehicles, this is one of the queen mothers that has a fucked up, hard-ass coating on it. The light is hard, don't get me wrong, but the coating is ridiculously hard, okay? Something like this would normally take me like 5 or 6 P220s, right? 5 or 6 320s, like 3 or 4 P500s, and then the rest would be just normal, right? And this would take something like this light would take me like 45 minutes on average because the coating was so messed up, all right, so hard, right? Why I say in the beginning number 9? Well, number 9 refers to the number 9 on this video here, which was from hardest to easiest situations of a light, or what lights are hardest to what lights are easiest. This light default typecasted into number 9. What was number 9? Check out this video right here. Okay, if not, it'll go more into detail about what it is, but basically is any light that has the coating is pretty much gone or damn near gone from natural accord, or just if somebody tried to do the light and took off all the coating and then like stopped and had you do the rest or something, right? Because DIYs try to do that shit, right? And then they're like, oh man, this looks terrible, and they freak out and they call you to do it, right? This one happened to be the perfect storm I was talking about. Number 9 perfect storm. Okay, you really should watch that video. It will explain more into depth about this, and you'll see how you get to number 9 and what number 10 was. Okay, but anyways, this is the perfect storm where this vehicle here has not been done ever. Okay, was never done. Not one time. This is from the factory. The next person to touch it was me. Okay, so it is a 2008. So all of that hard coating that they had on this light, that's damn near impenetrable, pretty much oxidized, eroded, and just evaporated. Okay, which all headlights. Most headlight coatings do that are supposed to be for headlights. Okay, so the perfect storm, referring to the fact that it's about 99% gone. It was about 99%, if not like 99 point something percent gone. So this guy waited to this time to get this, or this car waited this time to get this service. And luckily for this vehicle, there was no damage to the actual polycarbonate, the actual headlight surface, which is very rare for something to be, going this long with just so little clear coat on it to, damn near none, virtually none, for it to go bad. So I'm believing that it's a perfect storm where it just hit to the point where all of it's gone, naturally, okay, without any damage or anything. So I didn't have to do too much grinding or whatever. You saw how I started with the P500s. Okay, that's all I used is a couple P500s, and then followed suit with the rest of the normal natural method of mine, right? So it was a perfect storm. This was probably the easiest S550 I've ever done. I always dread, it's always an upcharge, and I always drag my feet and dread doing these because they're just a pain in the ass. You're going to have to, have blood, sweat, and tears before you finish one, okay? I've had some that are so just terrible. They took, just so long to do, and it was just a terrible experience. But, I mean, they came out perfect, but it's so hard to get them that way. But this is the perfect storm once again, and it pretty much went its whole way out, and just barely to the point where it would have started messing up the headlight. Your headlight would have been getting, like, if it went another summer like this, or another 6 months or something like this, it would have been developing cracking. It would have been having some serious issues where I would have had to grind it off a significant amount to fix it. But this was just perfect. And it, just took a little bit of P500s, and that's it. And you can see how beautiful the headlights are already coming out. Like I say a lot of times lately, and I've been noticing it, and I've even looked at my videos, and then I looked at other videos, and I looked at my videos and our pictures, and I looked at other people's pictures, and I'm saying, I think my finish, or my pre-finished product, my second to last stage, my polish looks better than their finished product. Imagine that. And I'm right, because I see the same shit. I don't speak on like shit that I'm guessing that there's a store 5 blocks from here. Like, no, this is like I'm seeing it. I'm seeing that my pre-finished product looks better than others. And when I'm saying stuff like this, people don't think like, oh, this channel is about him. It's about the Headlight Restoration Pro. It's about him showing his ass off about how he's the world's greatest and all this shit. It's really fucking not. I mean, I do think that, but it's not about that. My message that I'm getting across here is that you can be this good too, very quickly if you watch my videos. very quickly if you practice and watch my videos and hear my, methodology and, just my ideology and the practices that I do, okay, and what I, actually do, and I'm telling you guys to do. You can obtain this. It's not rocket science. It's not. It's more of an art. It's not like I have to have these 15 years of school to do this shit. You don't. This is an art. This is an artistic work form. Okay, if you're passionate enough about it and you have the drive and intelligence would help you out by far. I'm okay when it comes to intelligence. I'm not gonna go into that, but it'll help you. Intelligence will help you intelligence will help you in any category you can do. But I'm saying it's not rocket science. You can really achieve this if you just listen. And the thing is, when you achieve this, what are you going to do with it? When you achieve this level that look at it right here. Look at it. It's amazing. It's not even finished yet, right? You achieve this level, what you going to do with it? Exactly. You can help your people out, your grandma out, whatever, or you can do your own cars for life. You never have to worry about it. Your daughter's car, whatever. You can start a business. You can start a side hustle. You can, think about it. If you were homeless or something, right? God bless the homeless people that have no other choice to be homeless. I don't agree with, one of the things that irks me is when I see an able-bodied man who is like 22 years old and he's out there homeless, begging for shit on the corner, and he doesn't have mental problems. He can talk to you fine, this and that, but they want to get high. Okay, but the people who can't help it, they're over the hill, they can't work, they can't do nothing, they have mental illness. God bless them. But if you were ever homeless or whatever, you can go buy this can for like $8 or something like that, and you can go buy some sandpaper or a kit for $15, and then what can you do? You can make $150 doing this if you have the skill. You know what I'm saying? One car, or some places more, or some places a little bit less. But I mean, you can do something if you have the skill. If you watch these videos, you will always have the knowledge and you'll always have the ability to go out there and do something like this, no matter what the circumstance is. There's cars everywhere. You can go to the jungle in Bolivia or something. There's cars that will need headlight restoration. You can go to Ukraine right now or some. Oh wait, that's a bad. No, you don't want to go to Ukraine right now. You can go to anywhere that you would think there's no freaking cars or whatever. The Amazon rainforest. There's cars there, and they have headlights, and they're made of the same stuff, and they will need headlight restoration. Okay. So that's what it's about. That's what this channel is about getting your skills up, knowing and learning about what these things are, and why they exist and how to fix them, and how to bring them back and why they go bad and all those things like that. And just continue to watch. Just make sure you subscribe. This is another picture perfect headlight restoration. And just for a note, look how close I am. I am about 6 inches away, maybe 7 at most. Look at that. This one has a slight, this side, the other side doesn't have it, a slight LED burn right there, which is normal for something this old. But look at the headlights. The headlights are 2023 now, right? They're 2025 right now. No, they're 2035 right now. Look at that. I strongly believe that this is the future of headlight restoration method. Just for instance, it's completely healthy for the vehicle. Look at how my tape job is, or look at how this light is as well. That's the first one I did. Beautiful, right? This one's fully dry. This one's been curing for about 45 minutes. But this is how beautiful the vehicle is. But anyways, this is the future of headlight restoration. It's if you tape it off right, you have about maybe a 2% chance of error, and that would just be somebody doing some stupid shit, And here's the thing: with this method, entails it being very easy to fix those mistakes that you make. Okay, so the collateral damage to somebody else's vehicle is very low. RIP to this guy here. He got a little out of hand. He had some kind of rabies or something. They had to put him down. That's a long story. Don't want to get into. But here's my setup here, what I got going on today. But anyways, this method is the future of headlight restoration because it's very scientific. It's very healthy for the vehicle. It's using headlight restoration products and things that are good for the products. And like number one, the headlight health. Somebody can come back and get the headlight restoration 3 years from now and not worry about their headlights being fucked up in 5, 6, 7 years or something. But anyways, I want to show you this. Got a little bit of slap in the trunk there, a little bit of something in there, and all this stuff going on in the trunk. But oh yeah, by the way, the real reason I wanted to show you what was going on in here is look at that. You better make sure you subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching.
Excalibur, I call on your power.